And they get to the movie theater and Star Wars is sold out. I was like, oh, I guess I'll go see the other science fiction film, Sorcerer. And the poster is strange, not much to make of it. And it's obviously a collaboration of him and Roy Scheider again. I haven't seen the restoration. I've seen a print. I saw a 35 millimeter print, and I remember telling him that. I was like, he's like, oh, I restored it. I was like, oh, I saw a beautiful print. He said, there's no way there's a beautiful print. These prints were never struck new prints. They existed. No one screened them. They cracked. They faded. I said, I saw a really good one. He hated film. He loved digital cinema packages, DCPs. He loved them. No, I really, it's strange. He hated introducing movies too. This is a very, very unique film. There's absolutely nothing like it, despite the fact that it's technically a remake. I guess he often talks about, I mean, I know that when first and foremost, the movie is named after a Miles Davis record, which is strange that he had this film. Does everyone know what the film is about? I imagine that you have read a little bit about what the movie is. And technically it's a remake of a French film, in premise only. But and he didn't really know what to do with his life. But this is a strange movie regardless. But he didn't know what to do for a couple years, and he always kind of followed the path that he believed. You had an interest in something, you did it. This is a movie about fate and I think hell. It's a very hellish film. And inside hell is a lot of anxiety. I think you're in purgatory. You're thinking about all the bad things that you've done and trying to run away from them. And if anyone gives you the opportunity to run away from those fears and anxieties, you naturally should be suspicious. And these four men, as in the Clouseau film, they think that they have an out, and that's not how life works. And the movie is an incredible, I guess, depiction of tension and living entirely in the moment. And the makeup, I mean, there's nothing remotely normal about this film. That's why even the title Sorcerer, what is the sorcerer? Who's guiding these people? And, the opening of the film, just to show four stories as the first act of a movie, and then which the Clouseau film doesn't do. It just opens with these in this wretched town. So what is guiding these people? Who is guiding them? Why are they, they're complete renegades by themselves on this path, again, in purgatory. And then the decision to go and use the score, to use the band Tangerine Dream to do the soundtrack, who were a relatively new band, particularly using electronics at the time. They were using real instruments and they started to use electronic synthesizers. He's seen them in the Black Forest when he was in Munich, probably promoting The Exorcist. And he went to a concert in an abandoned church. No electricity, just the synthesizers, and there's some footage of it. And Edgar Froese, I think that's how you said his name, the head of the band, they just played these. They did these meditations, these arpeggios, these loops over and over again for 4 hours, and he just was transfixed and hypnotized. And he just went up to them and said, "I want you to do the score to my next movie." And it's called Sorcerer, and it's about these four guys and transferring nitroglycerin to an oil well. And they said sure, and I encourage everyone to get the soundtrack afterwards, because there's few movies that you can listen to the soundtrack and are immediately transported to the vibe of the movie in like such an intense way, and this is one of them. And they never saw the movie. And they did this. They just sent him a bunch of film reels, audio tape. I think 45 minutes, and that's all 45 minutes are in the movie. And they just arrived in the jungle, I think, and he had them. He was listening to them while he was making this movie, and the making of the movie was just it's as hellish as the movie looks. I think he got malaria after he finished. Like lots of, I mean, it's when you make a movie, there's like a kind of a blind leading the blind sort of faith that, you know, what you're doing is right or righteous or there's purpose to it. And like the movie in a weird way. And that movie, I can't even imagine. I mean, I think someone almost lost a leg. He's like said multiple times that he's very lucky no one died. There was the making of the movie could have been a film in its own right, but no one would even go to where they were filming because you'd have to be crazy to film where they were. Man, that bridge scene is just unbelievable. There was a great story about when he was searching for the right town to shoot in. As he was pulling into the town, there was all these people, one at a time, people are leaving. And what they knew that he didn't know is that he was William Friedkin, the director of The Exorcist. And they were scared, as you might be. So now there's this guy making a movie. I don't know if it had a title by then. I think it did. Making a movie called Sorcerer. And it's scary. So they left town. They're like, I don't want to have anything to do with this. Whatever bad is coming this way. And I guess the only bad that came of it in his mind is that like the movie completely, you know, tanked when it came out and no one was interested in it. And he took all of the goodwill that he had earned with these two massive films and put, you know, economically all that goodwill and put it into this movie, spending $1 million on a bridge, building a hydraulic bridge to move these insane trucks that he manufactured just for the movie. And, you know, and then they had to move the bridge from one river to another because the river dried out. And he had like basically a blank check. And, you know, it didn't, it was not a financial success, but here we are many years, decades after. He didn't give a fuck about anything. He really didn't. He that was his way. You know, even sometimes with his wife, I would hear him talking when we were on the phone. Anyway, this is such a spectacular movie, and again, there's you guys all have, I think, a seat to use, but I promise you will only be using a piece of it, and it is definitely an anxious movie, and I feel right at home in it. So anyway, enjoy. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.